What's going on, everyone? So today I have Rebecca Aker here chatting. So we did in April. We started she signed up in April.
Yeah, April 21st.
April 21st, yeah. So when we started the competition. So our phase one program is 8 weeks, and then every once in a while, we're going to do it a couple times a year at least. We're going to do it again in September. We attach a competition component onto this. It was our shred season competition, so there's different. It's not about just losing the most weight. There were several other metrics and scoring to win, and it was totaled at the end of 8 weeks. Well, Rebecca won. She killed it, crushed it. We'll talk about her results in this live. First, this isn't a question on here. Tell me just a little bit about yourself. Not results, just kind of you kind of shared before this.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you put my age up there. I'm 35 years old. I'm married to my husband, Lee. I have 2 kiddos, girl and a boy, aged 10 and 8. And we are kind of farmy people. We have 35 acres just south of here. And it's wild and crazy. It's wild and crazy. We're starting from scratch. So so we enjoy that. My daughter and I ride horses. Right now my daughter rides because I gave her my horse. But so we're outdoorsy. Yeah. Work a lot. Yeah. Like to be active. So
you guys built your house that you mentioned before this, and you said I like the fact that. Did you guys general contract it too?
We did, yeah. So my husband's in construction management.
Okay.
Actually, he works for Goodman Brothers Construction in St. Louis County. And so he did general manage it, and we did a lot of the work ourselves. And so it was an 11-month process. Yeah. And very, very exhausting. So while raising those kids and dealing with, he has chronic illness. So it was just very, very stressful time for about 2 years in our lives.
Did you, because you've shared some information, about Lee and just all of that. When did you guys build your house?
We moved in last July, so end of the month we'll be in for a year. Yeah,
because 2020 is when you found out about that. So you had already known and just kind of toughing it out and trying to build and through all that.
And seen some progress, and then we actually sold our last house in 2022. Yeah. And so we went through about 2 years of not having a home, trying to buy land, and just that craziness.
I can relate. We, my wife and I, we general contracted our home. We sold, and then we built right when COVID started. So I was a teacher at the time, so it was we were building, we were out of work. It was just weird. It was bizarre, but it's a lot of work. Yeah, it's a lot of work.
And it'll consume you.
It will. It's rewarding, but it's over now. So you guys moved in.
So great.
You guys have a big piece of land.
Great. Yeah,
that's awesome. So, first question here. Back to kind of recalibrate and talking about that. You've shared a little bit before we started this. I want you to get into a little bit of it now. What made you finally say, okay, I'm ready to do this and finally join?
Yeah. So, coming off 2 years of high stress, constantly in survival mode, I thought we moved into our house last July and I went, okay, I'll be fine. I'm going to bounce back. I didn't. I kept spiraling. So, all those survival mechanisms that I had, the eating when I was stressed, angry, upset, having a bad day, you name it, I kept doing it. And I don't know, I think I mind over mattered for so long. Yeah. I mentally crashed too. I started putting on more weight at a rapid pace. I felt terrible. I'm sure my hormones were all out of whack. And so this last April, someone took a candid photo of me. And given the context of the photo and who was in it, this should have been something that I put on my wall, right? And should have been really happy to have. Instead, it made me cry. I saw a full body picture of myself for the first time in, 9 months to a year maybe, and it was shocking. I knew I was heavier than I'd ever been, not expecting or postpartum. I knew that. I knew I felt really, really bad. I knew I had no energy. I knew all those things, but I didn't just see the added weight on the photo. I saw how I felt.
Yeah.
And I saw my happy child and my miserable self, and I went, I can't even hang this super cool photo on the wall.
Yeah.
Because I hate it. And so maybe that sounds vain. I don't know.
No, I mean, I could say a lot about that, but as a parent, I know, like, and I think you can relate to this, that like when we don't have ourselves in check, like it eats at us. So then the frustration that we have about ourselves, I feel like we push it onto others and don't even need to. Like it may just happen because of like the mood that we're in, or like we're snappy, we're irritable, and it's because we just kind of are upset with things about ourselves.
Right. So that photo was more powerful than a mirror.
Yeah.
I saw how I felt physically, mentally, and emotionally in one photo. And I showed my husband the photo, and I said, this has to change.
Yeah.
If I don't change it, I kind of felt like I had two paths in front of me. If I don't change it, what's this going to look like in a year? You know?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
The pictures sometimes suck in that regard.
They do,
like,
don't they?
Dang, like
It's like that is. The thing is, it should have been a good angle.
yeah, and it does stink because it's like it's a kind of a wake up call, because sometimes you can avoid pictures, you can avoid this or avoid that, and then finally when it happens, like you mentioned, it should have been a good memory, like something that you want to hang up, and then you're just like, you can't stand it. You're like, yeah.
Yeah, and I think the tipping point was I looked at that and I went, that's not me. But I had to that's not me just physically, but that's not how I stand, with absolutely no confidence. It was just all over my face.
Yeah.
How I saw a person who was just, what's the word I'm looking for? Completely spent. I could see it.
Just exhausted.
And I was done.
Exhausted mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, like the whole 9 yards.
All the things. So I signed up 2 weeks later.
Well, we're glad you did.
I'm glad I did.
You've killed it.
Thanks.
So let's talk about some of the good stuff.
Yeah.
What were the biggest changes you made that help you drop 22 pounds in 8 weeks? But like your before and afters are incredible. You have guns on you, cannons on you now. Like, I mean, legitimately, like it's crazy. When we look at your this is before like front shot, but when like this one here, like it's like you lost like everywhere that like a woman honestly wants to lose, which like, so that's really cool. Like this transformation is crazy. So back to the question, what were some of the biggest changes that you made that helped you?
So 3 things come to mind.
Yeah.
The first being, for about 8-9 months before I started Recalibrate, I was pretty well inactive. I was really bad about wearing the watch, but if I had to estimate, I was probably taking about 3,500 to 4,000 steps a day on average. I was sedentary, right? So, and that wasn't me either, right? I was just that tired. So I didn't toy around with the steps goal. I doubled it.
Yeah.
I said 8,000 steps a day. I added some strength training. And so, I more than doubled my activity instantaneously. And the steps goal was something that was a non-negotiable for me.
Yeah.
This is simple. I can check this box. I can prioritize this, and I'm just going to do it.
And I'm not going to say it's easy to do, because it's not, but it doesn't require a bunch of like physical and mental willpower if you just get up and do it. And it's crazy how much that habit compounds, and we talk about that all the time.
Not easy, but simple and sustainable.
Yeah.
Yes. So 1, activity up. 2, on note of the fasting, within 2 weeks, I went, okay, I've adapted to this, and I realized my body really liked a 16 to 24 hour fast. It liked when I switched it up, but anything in that time frame, I would do just fine.
Sweet spot.
Yeah. And so I fasted almost every week, 5 days a week.
Yeah.
Any number of those hours.
The duration
right?
changed,
And of course, so I'm creating that calorie deficit, right? But it wasn't just about that for me. I think that made it successful. I did a lot of emotional eating before starting Recalibrate. So, if the fasting clock's on and I'm having a moment where I really, want to inhale some brownies because I had a rough day, well, the fasting clock's on. I can't.
It's a line in the sand.
Right. And I think it helped rewire my brain in a way to quit depending on food as crutch.
Yeah.
You know, I'm either eating right now, and if I am, I need to make good choices because I need to fuel my body. And if I'm not, I'm just not.
Yeah.
So they bring donuts to work. Sorry, I can't eat them. I'm fasting right now. It kind of helped draw a line for me.
I love that what you said there, because that's the big thing about it. It is not something that's just like, oh, I'm not eating, and it's punishment, and it's this and that.
No.
It's a kind of a learning experience to say, to not give in to trigger moments, your emotions, your environment. And it's a simple on-off switch that you learn that, like, wow, like, I'm actually fine.
Yeah.
Life goes on. This isn't a big deal.
Yep.
And let's move on. And then when you do, have your main meal of the day or whatever, like, it feels more enjoyable. And it's like, man, I just didn't like gorge myself in a bunch of junk today. Like, I'm eating something that is nutritious. It makes me feel good. It's just, it works, you know.
I always incorporated cheese. I was always happy, you know.
Yeah,
Like,
man, I love cheese.
I love cheese. Like,
it's like, give me a block of cheese. What do you like? Sharp? Do you like sharp cheese?
Yeah.
So the sharper the better for me. But yeah,
right.
I love
extra sharp.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I just smother it in protein noodles, and man, I felt like I was not depriving myself. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
I had what I wanted for the most part.
Yeah.
I did cut sugar. That was the third thing.
Big thing.
And I know you're not a purist about it, but for about 3 weeks, I did become a purist about it because I realized this massive crutch for me. It's a massive issue. We're just going to cut it off. And at the end of 3 weeks, like, my husband jokingly offered me a cookie, and it actually kind of made me like, I can't even smell that. It
point intended here, it recalibrates your sense of like sweetness. When I've done like a 21-day like sugar detox, my wife and I, we've done it, like people in this community have done it. And when you just like cut out the added sugar and you only rely on real sources of sugar, like Honeycrisp apple or something, after like 3 weeks of not having any of the junk, and you bite into an apple, you're like, holy crap, like this is like good. Sweet and good and like, wow, you know? And so when you introduce something that's synthetic or an artificial, a cake or a brownie, it's like, this is ultra sweet. Yeah, it's crazy.
It doesn't taste the way you expect it to. So, of course, then cravings get in check because I cut it. And so those are the three biggest things.
That's huge. No, thank you for sharing that. That's some of those things people, when we've done these interviews, have not necessarily hit on and talked about. So that's helpful.
Okay, great.
Yep. So there's the front shot. So awesome. Love it. Were there moments, third question, we're chugging along here. Were there moments where you wanted to quit? And if there was, like, how did you push through?
If by quit, you mean did I ever reach a point where I said, this isn't worth it? No. Yeah. Actually, I didn't. You wrote this in your post today. The goal has to be bigger than, it was the dopamine hit.
Yeah.
My goal became way bigger than the discomfort I was experiencing or how hard it was. I was not perfect. There were days or weeks, moments, whatever. Did I want to fall back into hard habits or those old habits? Excuse me. I absolutely did. Yeah. Did I have a rough day and want to eat how I felt about that? I did. And so, how did I push through that? This might make it sound like I treated myself like a toddler a little bit, but I redirected myself a lot. Yeah. I don't need this thing that my body thinks it's screaming for. I need to go outside and play with my son. I don't need this food. I'm not hungry. I fueled my body today. Let's go play some Legos. Let's do something other than obsess over the fact that you really want XYZ. Yeah. And that's an old habit. Because it's not healthy to you know where I'm going with this. Yeah. Like, use food as a crutch.
Yeah. It's like, I think it could be something as simple as this. You're talking about redirecting. Redirect yourself. First, answer the question: am I wanting to partake and do this because it's just a temptation and it's like a thing that's in front of me? Like, I walk past a bakery, and smell,
Right.
delicious carbohydrates, bacon with a bunch of butter. I walk past a Mexican restaurant and smell like tortilla chips that are
Right.
baked. Like when you smell it, it's like, that's just that environment doing that.
Right.
Let's redirect. How about I just remove myself from that environment? And if after like a certain amount of time passes and you're like, you know what, I really, I want something, I need to nourish myself in this way, that's healthy.
Yeah.
Not to give in to every single thing that you're facing.
Exactly.
You brought up one other thing too. Just there was a moment where you wanted to quit. You said that there really wasn't, because the goal was bigger than the dopamine fix or that temporary pain relief of whatever it is that it might be. Like, so it brings me back to the catalyst of like, we all have that moment where, and it's different for everybody. For you, it was like that picture, and it's like that was that thing, for whatever reason, was the ignition more than maybe even for some people it might be like, okay, I'm moving up another size in jeans, and it's like, you're buckling them together and you're like for some people it's that. So it's different for everybody. So it's just interesting to see that. But it points back to the post that I did make this morning, was when you're dead serious and you finally actually consciously make the decision, I'm doing this, it's like all the distractions do kind of go away.
They do.
It's tough to know when you get to that moment.
Yeah. I feel like you talk about this in one of the modules, not to give away too much, but you talk about when you set your mind to something, your body just kind of falls in line and follows.
It wants the goal to happen.
Yeah, and I remember listening to that. It was pretty early on, and I went, okay, so I just have to push till I get to that point. And it happened.
Yeah.
As far as like, were there times where I needed to go do something I didn't want to do? For example, like, oh man, I'm way below my steps goal.
Yeah.
Normally I'd say it's fine, I'll do it tomorrow. Or do I really want to get up at 4 a.m. and strength train? No, I really don't want to.
Yeah.
I would ask myself the question, is this thing that you need to do, is it sustainable? If the answer was yes, okay, then go do it.
Yeah.
If the answer was no, and I truly was pushing too hard, then okay, we can reevaluate. But if the answer was yes, it's sustainable, then just go do the thing.
The mindset of just anything, and like when you make up your mind, like, hey, I'm doing this. This is kind of a training. You may experience this. Guys that like to lift weights heavy, women that like to lift weights heavy, and like go for like, a new personal record on something. I know if like I'm under a bar and I'm like, and I'm already telling myself like, oh, this is heavy. I don't know if I can get this today. I'm feeling weak. It just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But if you go under the same conditions, like I am going to get this.
Yeah.
I talk a little bit more aggressively to myself in my head than how I am right now. Like I call myself like, you are gonna do this. Like it's gonna like some words might be said to myself. The weight goes up. Like you accomplish that lift, and it's the mind. It's the mind making it happen.
Yeah.
Crazy. Okay, so life now, physically, mentally, emotionally, after 8 weeks now, you're moving into phase 2.
Yep.
You look great. Like so your physical state has totally improved.
Yeah. Mental,
emotional state, same improvements.
Oh gosh, like I can't even tell you all the ways. Like I really can't. Our mental and emotional health is so tied with our physical health. It really is. And there's something to be said for when I saw myself making it happen physically, the resilience I built mentally. And I like to think I used to be a pretty resilient person, but we got a little beat down. It happens to everybody, right? I started to see resilience again. And this is even a little weird for me to say, but a little bit of confidence.
Yeah.
Even my husband was like, this is you.
Yeah.
This is you.
There's nothing wrong with having a little bit of edge and chip on your shoulder, which can be sometimes misidentified as cockiness, where I think cockiness and confidence are two different things. But a healthy people may not agree with me on this, but I think it is you mentioned vanity before. I think a healthy amount of vanity does and can exist. It doesn't mean that you just like what's wrong with everyone should, produce self-love, right? And love yourself.
Right.
And like, so it can be kind of the same, like you should care about how you look. You should care about how you feel. And if you want to call that vanity, then fine. But I think it's a healthy thing to want to walk around and feel and look good. You want others to experience a pleasant image of yourself too as well, so
as far as physically, a little story if we have time for it. Like we went down to the Lake of the Ozarks last weekend, and it's a 4th of July thing we do every year, and those lake inflatables that make the big obstacle course, the Whibbit things. Last year when we went, I could hardly play with my kids. About 15 minutes in, I couldn't pull myself out of the water easily. I couldn't climb the big tower to go down the slide with my son. I was like an hour and a half into playing with them on Saturday, and I feel fine.
Felt good.
I feel fine. Like a friend even made a joke about how I leaped up the tower, and I went, oh, I didn't, I just didn't even think much of it. But I did. I sat back and I reflected on a year, 3 months of hard work. I played with my kids better.
Yeah.
And that was a huge win.
Yeah.
So it's not just about
that's
the
massive.
Weight or
for some people, it's like we all want many different things. For some people, like that just might be what they want. They want to be able to play with their kids. They want to either, maybe it's grandkids, want to be able to have the energy to do that, live longer, or give yourself a fair fighting chance to live longer, to be around for those loved ones. There's many things. Yeah, that's awesome. I love that. Thanks for sharing that, because I'm sure a lot of people watching, could feel like they need that in their life. Last question. See, we already made it through. What would you say to other women out there, moms out there watching this, who might see this, we might share this, who feel just kind of, maybe how you felt, just stuck, tired, unsure if this will work for them? What's something simple you'd say to them?
You're worth investing in. What I really want to say just totally went out of my mind. So let me see if I can gather it real quick. I think we spend so much time pouring into our families. I was in a place where if I could just give more, and a lot of it was the life situation that we were in. I felt like if I couldn't do that, I was failing. But the truth of the matter is I'd spent myself to the point where I was really not much good to my family. It was affecting them.
Yeah.
I needed me to invest in myself. They needed me to invest in myself, right? Yeah. You're worth investing in. I was. You are too.
That investment in yourself is, would you agree, transactional into all of I say it all the time, into all the other areas of your life.
Yeah.
Being a wife, being a mom, being a friend, being a coworker, everything. There isn't one thing that you can't trace back that's like, I feel good, I'm walking around, looking great. Like the rest of my life now is more colorful.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah. And it, the sacrificial love we have for our families is a great and beautiful thing. I think I love them more sacrificially better now.
Yeah.
That I feel better, and I have a cup to pour from.
Yeah,
right.
It's huge. Yeah,
I do. I love them, and I serve them, and I do life with them better now. And I think I serve others better now because I have the energy to do it. Like my husband and I are really into different areas of ministry, and I have more mental and physical energy to think about those things and pour myself into those things because I feel good. So yeah, if you're stuck and tired, you're worth betting on. And if you're unsure if it'll work for you, I was a little bit of a skeptic. I'm not going to lie to you.
You should be.
Because, I was sick of, I didn't want a fast fix that wasn't going to stick. I was so sick of yo-yoing and, I don't know about you, but like growing up, conversations around health, fitness, diet culture that just weren't very healthy for me growing up. And so I was acutely aware that I needed a lifestyle that it was a good example for my kids. So I had to choose something that was a healthy example for my children. But as far as being unsure if it'll work for you, when I won the challenge in the Post, you wrote and I wrote this down because it just resonated with me. This is what happens when you run the play.
Mm-hmm.
The plays are written.
Yeah.
The system is in place. You put the system in place. The support's in place. If you're willing to put in the work, you will see change. Period.
Well, that's I don't think we can end it any better than that. Like that's
Cool.
that's awesome. Yeah. Wow. This was extremely helpful. I know for some people watching this, absolutely. A couple things to mention. So if you are on the fence about this, reach out to Rebecca, ask her some questions. You can message me, of course. I'll give you the facts straightforwardly. If you're like, yep, I'm doing this now, Rebecca has a 10% discount code that will save you 10%. So Recalibr8te. So use that. We'll link it in the comments here. One other thing that I will mention is right now for the month of July, we're doing a free 10-day trial, which we've never done this, and we're probably only going to do it about once or twice a year. So I'm excited about that. We're running it till the end of July. We're only opening up to 25 spots. I think at least 13 or 14 of the spots are gone. I'll have to check this morning. So there's still some spots available. It's definitely going to be gone by the end of the month. So you can try this for 10 days. And if you're like, hey, yeah, I want to do it, you can still enter in the 10% discount code that will still save you there. So, well, thank you so much.
Josh.
Yeah, absolutely. We will see you guys next time.